Hi, I'm Jim Knotts, President and CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Welcome to today's virtual reading of the names. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As part of our commemoration, we'll host an in-person reading of the names at the wall from November 7th through 10th, 2022, when all 58,281 names on the wall will be read aloud. In the lead up to that event, we'll be reading names each day online while sharing the photos of these heroes. For our daily virtual reading, the names of the service members will be read by month and day of death between the years 1956 and 1975 in alphabetical order for the given day. We apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Know that our readers are doing their best to honor these service members. We hope you'll listen and watch each day and share with others as we remember and honor those who gave their lives during the Vietnam War.
Michael Thomas Adams, O'Neill Addison, Thomas Oliver Alberk, Dean L. Aiken, Melvin Lee Allen, Ronald Carlos Anderson, James Gerald Anderson, Aaron Buckley Allmiller, Emmett Eugene Ballry, Sterling Clark Banks, William Joseph Baragi, Robert Bruce Beeson, Roger Lee Berg, Charles Hyman Best, Gordon Douglas Birdsall, Clarence Blanks, Samuel Harold Bonifant, Dean Louis Bonanno, James Ronald Bowden, William David Britton, Raymond Herbert Brody Jr., William Roger Brooks, John Alfonso Brown, Thomas Allen Brynelson, Frankie Nathaniel Carter, John Stanborough Cartwright, Richard Albert Casson, Alan Fred Chavez, Ronald Chisholm, Robert Lee Clark, George Arthur Clark, Jimmy Ray Clark, Roger Charles Collette, John Francis Kilkennan, Darrell Wayne Cottrell, Carrie Craddock, William Anderson Crenshaw, Kenneth Michael Kieran, Ralph Woodward Kreitzer Jr., Robert Woodrow Demeron, Larry Dean Daniels, Roland Dwayne Davis, William Michael Denhoff, Paul Jones Dennis, Edgar Snow Dolliver, John Melvin Durham, Russell Wade Eads, John Arthur Eddy, Stephen Bradford Emery, Jerry Thomas Evans, Anthony Patrick Eversole, Alan Lee Fowler, Robert Allen Fenton, James Petito Flagella, Alexander Four, Douglas Bernard Fournette, Robert Allen Fowler, Edwin Jean Galindo, Robert David Garapi, Leon Garnett Jr., Jose Manuel Gomez, James Scott Graham, Callum Warren Grant, Paul Vincent Grasso,
Billy Ray Green, Dennis Russell Gustafson, Russell Lee Hamilton, J. D. Harrell, Melvin Ellsworth Hart, Walter Samuel Hathaway, Gene Hawthorne, Gregory Allen Heinrich, David Allen Hickman, Don Ray Hollingsworth, James Frederick Hopkins, Richard Wayne Householder, Ronald Len Hurst, Estelle Husky, George Ellery Hussey, Malachiah Jackson Jr., Rudolph Jackimack, Thomas Merle Jaggers, Bobby Ray Johnson, Dwight Dawson Johnson, Jesse Lee Johnson, William Wayne Johnson, Joseph Reuben Carpy, Tommy L. Kearsley, Charles Robert Kesterson, Paul Chester King Jr., John Robert Klappick Jr., Gerald Dean Klein, Paul Theodore Core, James Edward Kralowski, Arthur Theodore Kramer Jr., Anthony Edmund Coons, Floyd Watzel Lamb Jr., John Timothy Lane, James Newton Law, Michael Eugene Lemaster, Roy Barry League, Jack Ronald Lenner, Jerry Lennon, George Carroll Letmate, Bruce Stewart Lindsay, Armando Cervera Luna, Pedro Miguel Maez, Jimmy McDonald Malone, Joe Jr. Mask, Larry Franklin Mattingly, Bernard Richard Mazursky, Scott Simons McCloskey, Thomas A. McCormick, Jr., William E. McGinnis II, Frederick Alfred McMahon, Richard Thomas Mills, Fairleigh Wayne Mills, Don Wayne Minton, Lawrence Mobley, Sutton Mobley, Jr., John William Moran, Marshall Kenneth Morris, Jerry Ray Murphy, Joseph Thomas Murphy, Jr., Samuel Thomas Neal, Jr., Louis Raymond Nickerson, Donald Edward Nipper, Jerry Lang Onan,
William Hilliard Overton, Richard Walter Paquette, Jeffrey Mark Parent, Dempsey Woodrow Parrott, Oscar Robert Parrott, Charles Leon Perry, Norman Lee Plemons, Robert Glenn Price, William Daniel Quinn III, Milton William Remler Jr., Jack Edward Reynolds, James Edward Rimmer, William Howard Rivers, Theodore Irwin Roberts, Santiago Rodriguez Lebron, Charles Edward Rogers, Don Lewis Ross, David Charles Schultz, Michael Simpson, Alan Edward Singer, Donald Eugene Slater, Robert Raymond Small, Douglas Bain Smith, Albert Charles Smith, Elwood Charles Sauvé Jr., Franklin Delano Stallings, George Riley Stamp, Billy Ray Stubbs, John Ernest Swanson Jr., Joseph J. Swayze, Donald Gene Sweat, Richard Donald Sweet, Clifford Tabor Jr., Rodney Allen Taylor, Eddie Jean Terrell, Robert Lee Thomas, Robert Eugene Thompson, Robert Vincent Thompson, Anthony Wilfred Torres, Wayne Louis Torcillo, Ernest Alfred Tucker Jr., Henry Lon Turn, James Lee Earns, Richard Bernard Vagnon, Michael Anthony Vankowski, Egbert R. Vaughn, Francisco Villanueva Jr., Hardin Burt Walker, Larry Lance Watkins, Howard Dennis Weiss, Richard K. Whitfield, Raymond Conlewis Willis, Donald Lewis Winkler, Douglas Nelson Winfrey, Arthur Lee Woods, Charles William Wolliver, Lincoln Roy Wright, Jeffrey Allen Urion, Ronaldo Zayas Castro,